y'all, it's your girl, it's Anna Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hey, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you can be the first to know about new uploads. So today we're going to be taking down my braids after a week of having them for a braid out and a story time. First, we'll go over the products I use for the braid out. So the products as they appear are the As I Am Jamaican Black Castor Oil Water, the Emerge brand Your Main Your Main Bestie Leave-In Conditioner, the Emerge brand Style Goals Gel, the Emerge brand The Works Buttercream, and then the Miele Honey and Ginger line Flexible Hold Edge Gel. So first I'll do a quick explanation of how I do my braid outs, and then we'll get into the story time. I like to mist my hands and the braids with the oil water and apply leave-in conditioner onto the braids. I feel like this helps it not be dry and as frizzy. And then I also use the buttercream to add additional moisture to my curls. I do my edges last after I take out all the braids, and I like to style the finished product with the Style Goals gel. Okay, so y'all will all see the steps in the video, so now let's get into the story time. So this story time is going to be about the time I had the worst experience in a bar of my life. Like, I know I'm being a little dramatic, but I swear it's one of the funniest stories I can tell about myself, and anybody that ever hears it cracks up laughing. So just to set the scene, I'm going to be adding in some clips of videos and or pictures throughout the night so y'all can understand the story a little bit better. So it all started out by me talking to this dude, and he went to a different school in Ohio. So if you don't know, I went to the University of Kentucky, and I'm a Zeta. And so he went to, should I say his school? We're not going to say his school. But he was an Alpha, and he was throwing a party up in my hometown. So he was like, you should come through, this, that, and the third, bring some of your friends, it'll be a good night, and then we can spend some time together. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I planned my trip to come back home, and I'm texting my friends that still live in Dayton, and I'm like, y'all, we going out, it's gonna be fun, I'm gonna get to see dude. And they like, yes girl, it's gonna be such a good time. So fast forward a little bit, I drive up from Lex, and I go home and I start getting ready for the night. So I'm going to pause it and enter a clip of how I looked before we went out. Okay, so we all ready to go out. I go pick up my friends, and we go to the place where this party's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a Greek party, hosted like a chaos. It's supposed to be a chaos party. And so we get there, we pull up, we all ready to go, and the police are there. It's shut down. So we like, oh my goodness, are you serious? I can't believe it's shut down before we even get to go. So the dude that I was talking to or whatever, like calls me, and he's like, hey, the party shut down. What are y'all about to get into? And so I'm like, what do y'all want to do? They're like, it doesn't matter, we're with you. I'm like, okay. So he's like, well, let's go down to the Oregon district, we can meet there, but I gotta handle some things here before I can head out there. So we like, okay, bet, we'll meet you there. So we leave the place where the first party's at, and we like, okay, if we go into the Oregon district, we gonna have to buy some drinks because they're all bars. And so we were like, okay, well, let's stop and get something to drink real quick, and then we'll just drink it before we go into the bar where we pick at the Oregon. So freeze, I'm gonna pause it here and tell you what we had the audacity to do.
Y'all, I'm being my feelings. I'm in my feelings drinking malt liquor.
So while we parked, remind you, no one's driving, just for safety reasons. I want y'all to know I might be a little crazy, but not that crazy. So we're parked, about to go into the bars, and we like, okay, let's go. Where we going? Because like the Oregon is a strip of bars. And so we were like, okay, well, let's just go to, I think we went to Ned Pepper's or Newcomb's. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Ned Pepper's though. And so we go into the bar, and I text him like, hey, we're at blah, blah, blah. Let me know when you get here. He's like, okay. So we drinking at the bar, having fun, dancing. And so the bottom floor is real chill. Like, it's just super chill. The top floor of the bar is like more hip hop music where you go to dance, and there's a bar up there too. So we like, let's go to the second floor. Second mistake of the night. Third mistake of the night. First mistake was not going home after we found out the first party was shut down. Second mistake was drinking Four Locos. Third mistake is going to that second floor of the bar. So we up there, we drinking, we dancing, we having a good time. I'm going to insert another clip just so you can see what I mean by how lit we were. Hey, So I knew better. After that first A should have been the cue for us to leave. So this dude is like, what y'all drinking on? And I'm like, a LIT. He's like, okay, let me get y'all some. So we all get a LIT, and then I don't remember what song comes on, but a song comes on, so we all start dancing again, and then it happens. So this girl was dancing by us, and this dude came up to her and wanted to dance. And she was about to give him a dance or whatever, but her friend apparently thought he wasn't cute, so she grabbed her friend. While her friend was grabbing her, she spilled her drink. So that's another thing that went wrong in the night. Her drink was spilled. Then they bumped into me. So while the drink is on the floor, the foam machine going off upstairs, we all lit, we all laughing, we all dancing, I fall. I slip on the drink that was spilled. So another guy comes over, and I'm on the floor. And so he's like, let me help you up. I have my hand over my knee because I'm like, man, my knee feel weird. Like, I just don't feel right. So when I put my hand out for him to help me off the floor, I put the hand that was on my knee onto the floor, and I'm holding his hand so he can help me up. He backs up. He's like, what the f-? And I was like, what? He's like, yo, knee. My knee is out of the socket. And my friends are like, start screaming at the top of this bar. Like, we on the second floor, mind you. So the dude, he like drops my hand because he sees my knee is dislocated. So instead of just staying on the floor, my intoxicated self gets up and pushes my knee back into the socket. So at this point, I think my adrenaline was so much that I didn't know what to do. So I just look at my friends, and they like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, I think it's time to leave. So we're on the second floor. I'm hobbling down the stairs, trying so we can get back to the car. People stopping us while we walking on the street because, I mean, we all pretty cute. So they like, can I get your number? And I'm crying. I'm like, my knee was just dislocated. I don't want your number. So we go to the car. Fast forward a little bit, I get everybody home. And so I go home. So by the time I get home, I'm like, I'm just going to sleep. I want to sleep this pain off. I don't know what to do. My mom, like, hears me come in, but she's like, okay, I'll just talk to her in the morning. I wake up in the morning, and my leg was hurting so bad, like my knee was swollen. And so I'm hobbling, trying to go to the restroom, and my mom is like, what'd you do to your ankles? And I was like, I didn't do anything to my ankle. It's my knee. And so she's like, what happened? So I tell her the story, and she's like, well, let's go to urgent care, see if they need to check it out. So we go to urgent care. It's like flu season. Everybody in there coughing, sneezing. I'm hungover. My knee is killing me. My mom is mad at me. She's like, you smell like a brewery. And so we finally see the doctor. And so I had to tell them what happened. And they're like, well, you put it back in so there's nothing we can really do, but you're gonna have to be on crutches. So after we leave urgent care, I have on a knee brace. I have to use crutches, walking around UK's campus for the next couple weeks. And everybody is just laughing at my pain because they're like, well, how'd your knee get dislocated? And I was like, at the bar. So long story short, or if you want to call it short story long, if your night is ever cut short because a party is shut down, take it as a sign. If you ever start your night with Four Loko, know that something wild and crazy is going to happen, and take it as a sign. And if you ever got to hobble down the stairs from a second floor of a bar, go to the doctor right after, because the urgent care was looking at me like I was crazy when I told them that I was the one that had placed my knee back in place. And to this day, my knee be feeling real wobbly. So I don't know if I did it the right way, but all I know is that don't drink Four Loko, or you will have a crazy story to tell as well. So that is the story of how I dislocated my knee at the bar. And just for the record, don't even talk to that dude anymore. Didn't even get to see him because left early in the night because had to hobble out the bar. So now let's get back into this braid out. I like to leave the last two braids in the front of my head for the last two that I take out because I want to make sure they're not frizzy. So I make sure that they are moisturized with the oil spray, and then I begin to take them out. And I try not to be as rough with the front two. I'm a lot more cautious so my bangs aren't frizzy, because I feel like if my bangs are done or the front pieces of my hair, the rest of the braid out always looks better. Okay, so now that all of the braids are out, I'm in the mirror. I'm like finally listening to Rod Wave, and then I'll see one side looks kind of frizzy. So I take that water and oil mixture and I spray it onto my hands, and then I spray it onto the ends of my hair. And I'm just trying to make sure that it kind of lays a little bit better. So after I see that it is moisturized, still spraying, almost like a scrunch method, I rake through only parts of it. I don't rake through my whole head. I then take a comb and go towards the root of my braids so I can fluff it out, because I don't want it flat to my head. I like to have a little bit of volume, and then I like to make sure the parts are gone except that middle part. I take oil to make sure my part is moisturized, because you don't want a dry part. That is an annoying part of me. Like, my middle part has to be good. So I'm just rubbing that oil in and making sure that you cannot see the triangle part I had in the front from the braids. After rubbing the oil in, I like to place the top of my hair inside a loose pony or a loose bun, and I get the toothbrush I use for my edges out, and I'm going to use that Miele honey ginger edge control. After I do my edges how I want it, I then get out the styling gel from the Emerge brand, and I put it all throughout my hair. So I use kind of a smoothing and scrunch method because I want to lock in the moisture of that oil spray so it's not dry. Because remember, I've had my mini braids in for a week, and so if I don't add that moisture back in, the braid out will be very frizzy. As you can see there, I didn't like the way that one section of my hair looked, so I'm re-spritzing it with the oil water, and then I'm going to add gel so it can lock it in. After I add the gel, I kind of just go through it in the mirror and see if I like the way it looks, like the shape of it, and then I decide if my edges look the way I want, just everything, and making sure that it's not all matted down in one place. At this point of the video, I am going to go change because I had on black and I wanted you to see the hair with a different background. So now this is just going to be the final result of the taking down my braids, and I'm going to show you a few different angles. So the front, the side, the back, the other side, and then once again fluffing it out. Here I'm just showing you that I could, if I wanted to, use a different part of my hair that I had with the braids to do a deeper side part instead of a middle part. This is usually the side I would part my hair on, so it was a little bit easier to part. And then if I didn't like this side, say, I could just flip it to the other, but I usually wear it in the middle part if it's down like this, but I can go ahead and part it on the other side of my head to do another side part. This one is not as defined because, like I said, I don't part my hair on this side usually. Another style I sometimes like to do is the half up, half down. I wasn't doing this one today, so it's not a perfect example of it. That's why it's kind of loose, but if I wanted to, you could wear it in a half up, half down. Like I said, that one was not what I was going for, so I just put it down back into that middle part, and that is my braid out. And I'm just going to insert a few pictures and a short video of the final results of my braid out. Thanks for watching.